Well, here I am again, my favorite place, the bathroom. And what was the report this time? Well, Momi said that her sink was backed up or it wasn't draining properly. Now, I recently made a video showing how to clear out a bathroom sink, and I showed you this little tool right here. It's called the Zip It. Z-I-P-I-T. Zip It. See there? I got it from the Home Depot years ago, and they still have them, by the way, and so does Lowe's. And this happened to be the one I had before. I got the yellow one, and the end got all corroded and messed up. See all the tines, the little plastic nylon tines. I call them tines. They just cut out, and see a brand new one. See how nice those look? Well, that's what this used to look like, and all the other ones got all messed up like these, and they got really bad here. So I just cut the end off, and I still use that every once in a while prior to me using this new one. Well, this one's not new anymore. I've used it probably, I don't know, 15 times so far. Unclog your sink, shower, and bathtub drains. Believe it or not, I've tried it in all 3 different areas, and it works. It's kind of tricky in bathtubs and showers, depending how far your P-trap is down below your shower drain and that kind of stuff. But you know, I did use this. In fact, I've used it on this sink. This is my sink here, Momi's sink. I've used it on hers, but she claims that it's still kind of draining slow, and I'm just going to humor her. And she's not here right now. She's out of town for a couple days, and I thought, hey, I'll make another video once and for all. I'm going to get this one clear 100%. Now, when you use the Zip It or anything like this, generally all you're doing is taking this and pushing it down in between the pop-up valve and down in there. And lots of times what happens is the hair gets all raveled around the pop-up valve, and that backs up your sink. It's not necessarily that your P-trap underneath your sink is clogged. It's the hair that's above your P-trap. Does that make sense? And that's why the Zip It usually does it. Now, I've 99.9% of the time when I use this, I can get the drains and the pop-up valve cleared enough for it to drain just like normal and not to have any problems. But Momi's claiming that it's still running slow and that it's gurgling. It's draining. I can see it drain. See there? I mean, shouldn't that be good enough? My word. But she thinks it should be draining faster than that. And I might have to agree with her. I mean, it's not backing up. That's for sure. It's not backing up. But see, after it goes down, then she can hear it go gluk, gluk, gluk. And she swears that it's still doing it. So I thought, okay, once and for all, I'm going to clean this out. And I'm not even going to use the Zip It this time. I'm going to do it a different way. I'm going to have to get down and dirty underneath the sink, and I'm going to have to clear all this stuff out of here. I'm going to have to move the stuff away from her counter. Well, maybe not really. I'll just pull that away a little bit. Move this out of here. I've got my work clothes on. I'm going to get my trouble light so that I can get down here so I can show you, because the light down here, when I show the video camera, it doesn't show up very well, does it? Okay, I'm not sure if there's something wrong with my video camera or not. I don't think there is, but I'm going to get my trouble light and kind of shine it up in there so I can show you how I'm going to do this. Because see, I've got to take the P-trap apart, and then there's a pop-up valve on the back side of there, and I'll show you that in a minute, and that will let me take this out of there, and I'll talk to you about that, like I say, in a few minutes once I get ready. Okay, so if that's what you want to watch, stick around. I think you're gonna like it. Okay, I'm just about ready to go. I've got everything cleaned out from underneath here. And here's a tip for you guys. Whenever you unload, clean out the bottom of your sink cabinet, put all the stuff in order. See, how this goes right here is exactly how I took it out. This stuff to the left, over to the left, then the next, then the next, then the next, then the next. That way, when Mommy gets home, she wants to find something, she knows exactly where it is for how she left it. She doesn't have to say, hey, where's this, where's that, whatever. Okay, I move this stuff over, and I'm contemplating about taking these doors off, because if I back into one of these as I'm down there crawling around, this thing could spring, it could bend this, it could break this. These cabinets are made of particle board on the inside of there. If I hit it too hard, the screws could come out and break out and all that. So I'm probably going to take that out. And yes, I've got my little construction light here. And here's a tip for you too. I was going to use that extension cord there. Why am I not going to use that extension cord? Yeah. I know, get on with it, Joe, right? But the end of this has a 3-prong, okay? You see a 3-prong on this extension cord? No, there's no 3-prong. Look at that. Nothing there. No 3-prong, it's just a 2-pronger. And there's no way I can plug that in. Even if I go over the top of it, of which I probably don't really want to do, and plus this could be going plugged in wrong because there's a big side and a small side, and to fit it upside down I would have the big side on the wrong side. Hey, if you ever get an extension cord, here's the tip I want to give you. If you need a small extension cord and you buy one at the store, this was probably 15, 25 foot long. I mean, it would work fine, but I very seldom can use it because most of my stuff that I have to plug into there has 3 prongs. And so I very seldom can use this. I'm about ready to just chuck it and throw it away because it's never any good. Okay, get yourself the 3-prong extension cords, and let's just get down under here, and I'll show you quickly. I'm gonna take the video camera off the tripod, and that should give me plenty of light. Plus, see, I could probably do it without taking the doors off, but I want to show you what's going on down there. So once I get down there on my side and start undoing stuff, I need to have enough room to set the video camera kind of over here. These doors are kind of in my way and stuff, and so I'm going to have to carefully figure out how to get these off, okay, because not all concealed door hinges come off the same way. I used to have some cabinet doors in Maui when I had the condo there. There was a spring-loaded deal there, and you would just push on it and it would pop the whole thing off. I could take one off in 10 seconds, the door, and pop it back on. Well, this one, I don't think I can do that. I think I have to undo this little screw right there to then slide this out. Okay, and I'll work on that in a minute, but I wanted to kind of show you. Well, there's not much I can show you just yet, but this is going to give me plenty of light. Well, that's funny. When I got down here, I accidentally hit the button, but see that there? That's the pop-up valve plunger. It's connected there, and then it goes over there, extends on that rod, and that's how you adjust. That's how that pops up and down. And I'm going to have to undo that and all that kind of stuff to get that out, because this pop-up valve is caught in that little hole. Now you can do it a different way too, and see on my side, see, I can pull that up and this comes right out. Let me get the light on here. You see that hole right there? That's designed for the plunger to fit through that hole, so you can't pull this pop-up valve out. Well, this one is so warm that sometimes I can twist it in there just right and get it to where the pop-up will work. See, look at that. Well, right there, right I did there. I can't pull it out. I can only push down. Now I've got it connected on there, but if I twist it, I can pull it out. And that's because the pop-up, the little plunger thing is kind of worn a little bit. This is a 20-year-old house, and you know, but it still works fine. And I kind of like my pop-up undone anyways, because then I can keep it up high like that. And then the water can go down, and then if I need to clean this out, I can lift that out. And you can do that if you undo the nut back there and do it all differently. Then your plunger, your pop-up actually won't work this. It's really designed, obviously, so when you pull back here, this goes down if you want to fill this up. And for ladies, why would you want to fill that up? Well, maybe to dye something, to clean some lingerie, or do something really quick with some whites or something like that, or whatever. Okay, you're never going to use that probably for shaving. Maybe shaving your legs. Put your leg up in there and stuff. But you see, it's just draining slow. It's not really coming up very far. If I lift it up like that, it goes much quicker. And I tried to adjust this before. I'm gonna check it out again because when I have this all the way up, that's as high as it goes. Well, there's got to be a way to make that just a hair higher, and if not, I may have to take the whole thing out and leave it up high. She's not really going to care about that, because then if the sink ever gets clogged up, we can lift it up and pull the hair out and do all that kind of stuff anyways. Okay, but that's a thought for you on how you can get that up higher. More times than not, you can adjust this, that rod down there. You should be able to adjust that, or on the prongs of the back side of this rod here is connected to this plunger, and see, this rod has holes in it. See, there's a hole there, and then there's more holes going down it, see? And this one happens to be on the second one. Well, you could make it on the third one or the first one, and then try it again and see if that'll pop it up higher. And this rod goes up, and it's extended onto the plunger deal here, and you can adjust that. You can undo that and slide this rod up and down just a hair on there, tighten that up if you need it adjusted that way. Okay, so there are ways, and I've done it before, where I've gotten this up higher. But see, it's worn a little bit. If I lift that, see how much higher it is? Then if I just let go, and when the water hits it, I think what's happening on that is the back side of that thing is so thick, it's going down further. See how this goes down at an angle? Now mind you, there's a little rubber thing up here too, but as that's going down, it's getting closer. It's getting closer to that when she turns the water on. So when the water's draining, it's draining out slower than it should. If only, you see how it's down like that? But if I could get it up like that, you see how much more water would go down through there? And I think that's one of her issues too. But I'm going to humor her, because she seems to think there's still more hair clogged down there. And yes, there might be some hair clogged down in there. And there could be some stuff in here that's clogged up. Okay? Or worst case scenario, if I clean all that stuff up, and if it's still running slow, that tells me where it goes down the wall, it takes a nosedive and goes down, and we're up on a second floor, but maybe somewhere down inside the line is clogged, and then you'd have to get a plumber. You'd have to get a little manual snake, shove it down in there, and twist it around and try to get it unclogged that way. Generally, that's not what the everyday faucet sink, when it gets clogged up. Usually, it's because there's hair, and when the hair goes down there, it gets caught all around the little pop-up. Can you see if the pop-up gets hair all around it, it's going to stop the water before the hair clog goes down in here. Usually this is always cleaned out. There might be a little something down there, but granted, this might not have been unclogged for the last 20 years, and there might be some extra buildup there, but my thought was initially that if I were to zip it like this, because it's flexible, see how long it is? As I was pushing it down there, the last bit of this yellow from here, from about here to there, would go down in here and would go like that, and pull out any hair that might be accumulated there. But like I say, most of the time it's right where that plunger thing is, and then from that plunger on up to the actual pop-up valve, it wraps all around there, and this gets hair all wrapped around it and stuff. And that little plunger thing, especially if you got people with long hair, medium hair, whatever, not really short hair, but even for guys shaving. I don't have long hair, but sometimes this gets clogged up, and after a while, when you shave and stuff, I try to wipe this out the best I can, but you're always going to get something down there, and eventually it grabs on there and starts sticking on that plunger thing, and then it starts filling up, and then all I would do is take the little zip it, run it down there, and just go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth as I'm running the water, and that flushes most of the stuff out of there. And I've done that a couple times, and it's been fine. Okay, but for this particular project, you're getting the full Monty, because I'm going to be taking the adjustable P-trap out of there and pull this. I'm going to actually pull this out of here. After I undo that rod, we're going to take a look at that. We're going to see if any more hairs clogged around there, see what we have to do to clean that. And yes, I've got my bucket here. I've got my Home Depot Homer bucket. I got some water in there. I've even got some little buckets here. I've got my crummy toothbrush here, and I've got a rag here, my Simple Green, and I've got some other little buckets here. I'm going to use these buckets for under here, because when I undo that P-trap, can you see that right now there's water from the bottom of this, or from about here over, this is filled up with water. Okay, and the reason why they have a P-trap there, and the reason why there's water there, is so that any smells in the sewer line don't come up the pipe and come up and get up into your sink and come out into your house. That's why there's always a trap. Did you know that? And that's why this is always filled with water. So when I take this off, it's only filled with water from here to there. Now granted, if this sink was all plugged up, and if it was from here down, no water in your actual sink, it's drained down, but from there down there's water, then this pipe here will be full of water too. So when you undo this, you're going to have a little bit of extra water come out. And that's why that's why I want to move everything, and I have some buckets here. Okay, so stick around and we'll get to it.